Okay, one more story. I tried to do the first one, I screwed up. The second one, I'm in the middle of doing a YouTuber thingamahoo. Okay, so met Tom at the end of, or I met him in 1988, and then the end of 1988, he really got to know who I was, in a sense. You know, started to begin to know who I was. And in 1989, I ran for him, and the first half of the year, he let me run my normal 110 miles a week. Second half of the year, he says, you're going to run 80 miles a week. It is so hard for me to lasso myself to run 80 miles a week. Now it's easier, okay, because I'm a fighter. I'm not a runner anymore. I mean, I run, but that's to maintain my weight for my competitions now. So, in 89, you know, nothing big is going on, other than the fact that now he starts, you know, he starts bringing on, he starts getting women. Anne Marie, I think, Elaine Van Blunk, no, Cassidy wasn't until 1990, I think. So, but as time goes, but nobody's joining us to run. I never ran with a woman until, at Tom's, until, oh gosh, 95? 1995? Something like that. 94? Maybe earlier, but somewhere in there. It was post-operatively. I had surgery in 1993. And then everything changed. Actually, things started to change after I broke my back, but the way I got the name Rainman, let me fast forward till like 10 years after I met Tom. We're at the Montclair High School track, and we're on the track, and the guys are hanging out there. And now he's got, I can remember one or two girls were there, and I basically remember it was Jen and Debbie. And Debbie was older, and Jen was a kid. I mean, she just became a teacher, graduated college. So, I don't remember what workout I was doing. And I remember that it was sunny, and it was warm out. I don't remember the temperature that day. I remember some of the hot runs we had, and I used to go up to them and go, what's wrong with these people? That's another story for another time. But every time we ran on the track, I would hear, Rainman. Rainman. And it was coming out of his mouth. And I'm like, I am ignoring this. People are giggling. I am ignoring this. So I ran around the track. As you can see, I just woke up like 4 o'clock in the morning or 4:30 in the morning. I actually woke up at 3 because I was thinking of all these stories. Can you believe it, right? And I still have training tomorrow, big time. Or today. So, I'm here, Rainman. And he's keeping a straight face. He's doing it. He's doing this. Now, I think I'm doing strides today. I can't remember, but I heard this little Rainman like 4 times. Every time I went by him. And people are laughing. So it took me, I don't know how long to figure out what the heck he was saying, because every time I was around, he would do this. And make people laugh. And that's how I got the name Rainman, because he was calling me Rainman. And the reason why he called me Rainman is because we'd be saying something, and he'd say a date, and I'd say, no, it can't be. That's a Monday. They're going to have a race on a Saturday or Sunday. It's not possible. That date does not land on a Monday, and it would be like X amount of, you know, weeks, months from the time he was saying it. And there was a time he had this kid from Denmark, and I think it was 1992, it was sunny out, and it was either April or May. It might have been April, I'm not quite sure. But it was not winter. I'm pretty sure it wasn't winter. It was like April or May. It was 1992, and this kid had this, he had blonde hair, and he's from Denmark. He had this data thing that could calculate. And Tom says to this young man who is staying with him, he says, I bet you, let's see how good Jody is. Pump in any date, any date, and she will tell you what day it is. And they had this plan. They knew I was coming in, all right? So they do this to me. And then he starts doing calculations. It's like this data finder thing. It was like this new computerized thing. This is like 25 years ago. I can't believe I'm saying this. So I'm getting all these days right. And Tom is doing this. He's like, what the heck are the kids looking at me? And then we start doing, you know, I said, just give me simple math. I said, I'll beat the calculator. I said, or whatever that thing is, right? And we start doing this. And what was funny was I never knew the formula to the days of the dates that they were giving me. Ever, never, never. But I could always do this. And one day, it was the year that I took off from Tom's. I was trying to really get my right leg back. It took me over 10 years to get my right leg back. And I knew I was kind of like bumming Tom out because I was pushing even when I was limping and stuff. So I was running in this woods for like 20 miles. And all of a sudden it came to me. And it was end of December 1990. No, it was January, middle of January 1997. So I came back to Tom in April of 1997. I took off from around April 1996 to April of 1997, or it was like May of 96 to, yeah, something like that. Because I had opened up a new office. I had my first real office for my new business. So, in the interim, I discovered what the formula was. And it was 6, 11, 17, 22, 28, 33, 39, skip 11, 50. And I figured out this formula somewhere in that 20 miles, running through these woods in northern New Jersey. And I thought, well, whenever I go back to Tom, I got to tell him that it's 6, 11, 17, 22, 28, 33, 39, 50. But he's never going to figure it out. And this is before all this Google stuff. All right? But anyway, that's how I figured out. I had a formula in my head that I never knew I had. And I had it. I don't know how I built it in. I don't know what happened. But I had it still kind of have it. Still have it. It probably was always there. Who the heck knows? But that's how I got the name Rainman. Because I can tell you who I met when I met them if I shake their hand a certain way. And I do it purposely, if I really want to know somebody. I shake their hand a certain way and I do something in my brain. And then I memorize the entire day. And that's how I got the name Rainman. That has stuck with me since. Have a nice night or rest of the morning.